Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back! Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere! Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now! Available in 2021, the album. Oh God, it's 2022. 2022, 29, 30, 42. God, I know I won't be here then. The album. I hope I am, though. I hope I'm still sitting in the same chair in 2042 doing drama for you all. Anyway, the album. Dad. F. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm so hard to handle now. Yes, I am. How are you guys doing today? Beast! Let me just tell you something, okay? It is 10:02 a.m. I have been up since, I think it was like 3:15, 3:30 in the morning. I don't even know, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed last night at 7:45 and got a full night's sleep, got up, vlogged for my vlog channel for a little bit over an hour, and then I powered through the True Crime Book Club for this month for my book club, a true crime book club, which I run with my good Judy Mel. How are you doing, Mel? This month we are reading The Third Rainbow Girl. Our live stream for that will be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is listed below. Our month, well, it was actually the book for December. Our book for January is about Bonnie and Clyde. So if you'd like to read about Bonnie and Clyde, join the True Crime Book Club. All you have to do is go to the link underneath the video. It's on Facebook, and join the Facebook group. Okay, so, by the way, I have been thinking, now, no, I won't be starting a new channel if I do this, but I have a long history with true crime, if you don't know. First of all, I have a True Crime Book Club, like I just said, that I run with my friend Mel. On top of that, I love true crime. I read true crime. I listen to true crime podcasts. I've been obsessed with it for years and years and years. And a little unknown fact, unless you watch my vlog, my grandfather was on the cover of, I think, True Crime or True Detective magazine way back in the day, because he was a homicide detective in Allen County, Indiana, and solved this murder case between his husband and his wife. So anyway, I have a long history of it. Plus, I may have met a serial killer, Herb Baumeister, and I did do a paranormal investigation at Fox Hollow Farms here in Indianapolis, where Herb Baumeister horrifically killed 29 gay men. He was also known, supposedly, as the I-70 killer. So I have been thinking that maybe, because of the drama being a little dry lately, I've been thinking, what would you guys think about me diving into doing some true crime over here? Now, here's been my thing with not doing true crime for a long time. People have asked me, they've been like, please do true crime. Peter, I'd love to hear your opinion about it. You talk so much about true crime on your vlog. You talk so much about true crime, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like, what? I would love for you to do true crime videos. Here's my thing, okay, is that I feel like true crime needs to be done a very specific way. Now, I do watch a lot of true crime people. I watch Stephanie Harlow. She knows I love her. She tweets at me every once in a while, which makes me very happy. And I watch Kendall Ray, and I watch now Christina Randall, since she has been doing true crime, and I love true crime, right? John Lorden Arts. There's several people that I watch, and I watch all the, I've seen like every true crime documentary that there is out there. Currently, though, I'm watching an old one that so many people recommended to me, and I just was never interested in it, and now that I'm watching it, it's fantastic, and that's McMillions. But as far as like the murder cases, the serial murder cases, I've seen most of those documentaries. The reason I have stayed away from true crime and missing people videos is because I have mad respect for the people that do it, because you have to have your facts and your notes, like, I mean, really, really organized, or people will totally come for you. And Belie Sarian is another person that I love to watch. And so, like, I love that Belie Sarian does her makeup in murder, and she, like, gets ready while she's talking about these cases. I would like to do something a little bit more like that. A little bit, something that's a little bit more informal. Not that her videos are informal, because they're not, and her podcast is fantastic. But I would like to do something that is not just directly sitting there giving you all the facts, if that makes sense. So if you guys would like to see true crime from me, or if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comment section below. If you could care less to see true crime from me, put that in the comment section below too. I think what I would do is start off by doing like maybe one video over here like a week or every other week regarding true crime, and then, I don't know, and like maybe over time do more and more. So if that would be my plan. I would definitely not start another channel doing true crime. It would be on this channel. So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. All right, today I want to talk about, oh my God, Trisha Paytas, Trisha Paytas, why Trisha Paytas? I mean, we knew this was coming, right? Trisha Paytas was going to start a new religion. I mean, Trisha Paytas is the most unoriginal person on YouTube. I think between their constantly offending many, many mass communities, on top of that, and then also being completely unoriginal and now boring, I think that Trisha Paytas' career is pretty much in the toilet. So, you know, and the really sad thing about that is, I don't really think, and like here, let me get serious for this for a moment, because in my last video, I did get very serious. People were like, you're so heated about this, blah, blah, blah. I've had it with Trisha Paytas. I really have, okay? And I'm gonna talk about, I got 2 drama videos coming today. So the next one, I printed out and made a whole prop for, so trust, you're gonna wanna see the next video. But anyway, you know, the thing about Trisha Paytas that Trisha doesn't understand is this, okay? That their career is really savable, and the thing is, I don't buy all this, okay? It's like, when I used to watch Amberlynn Reed back in the day, I had talked to Amberlynn Reed a couple times, you know, here and there, and Amberlynn Reed, if you know who I'm talking about, is like a daily vlogger and stuff, talks a lot about their weight and being on different diets and all this kind of stuff. Amberlynn Reed is very, very smart, okay? Amberlynn Reed, well, at least smart enough to be like calculated and manipulative with the content that they put out there on YouTube. Amberlynn Reed knows what they're doing. I used to always say that, and it's the truth. So when you watch an Amberlynn Reed video, know that, I mean, if there's like, if they say that they've been on a diet for 6 days and there's like a Burger King bag in the background, that Burger King bag is specifically placed there. Like, Amberlynn Reed knows what they're doing, okay? Trisha Paytas is very similar to that. Trisha Paytas films these videos, throws them up there, and just goes on with their day, right? So Trisha knows what they're doing with all of this religiosity and all this kind of stuff, which we're going to talk about in just a second, right? Because this is just, to me at this point, it's offending more communities, and it's just super, super lame, honestly, to me, because it wasn't even their idea. I mean, it wasn't even Trisha's idea. So, I mean, and it was so obviously caught in a live stream. But this is the thing, okay? You know, when Trisha and the Frenemies podcast fell apart and the whole arguing between Ethan Klein, I said time and time again, and people would say, don't tell Trisha what to do with their channel. Don't tell Trisha that they need to leave the internet, blah, blah, blah. And what I said was, if Trisha would go get some real help and take care of themselves and come back and share what that journey was like, Trisha could regain that audience that they have lost, right? But Trisha doesn't care, because Trisha thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. Trisha thinks that they know what they're doing. I'm telling you right now, the trolling days on YouTube might be content for drama channels to talk about, but in the long run, people that troll a lot on YouTube, I think their days are numbered. I think people are tired of it. I think people want relatable content. I think people, you know, it's like I said this with Tyler Oakley for years, right? I cannot believe it. My battery died already. Anyway, it was my vlogging battery from earlier today. But anyway, I was getting ready to say, I used to say this about Tyler Oakley a lot. You know, Tyler Oakley kind of destroyed his own career to some degree, because Tyler Oakley started, you know, on YouTube way back in the day, was one of the OGs of YouTube, and started, and I don't know if you know the story at all, but Tyler Oakley started his YouTube channel as a way to communicate with friends and family, making these videos and stuff like that. At least that's what I heard him say in one video. And so then over time, what happened was people that were his age, that were in college, started watching, you know, his videos and stuff like that. And that was when he was like obsessed with One Direction and all this kind of stuff. And he was like the nice guy of YouTube and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, was like, you know, real positive gay rights and all that kind of stuff. Well, what happened over time with Tyler Oakley, I have to believe, right? He's no longer posting videos on YouTube. But what happened over time is that Tyler Oakley never really changed out of that video content. And in fact, like, whereas I think the majority of his audience was like growing up and getting married and settling down and like decorating their houses and things like that, Tyler Oakley was sitting on the floor of his apartment, getting high and doing showing different wigs that he has in a box. So it was like, okay, I don't think people really, that's the videos that they care to see. I'm just saying, right? Like, I mean, if I were somebody that had like, my girlfriends that like grew up over time having watched somebody like Tyler Oakley, they would not be interested in seeing a video of Tyler Oakley getting high, trying on different silly wigs. They just wouldn't care, right? They would want to watch somebody, and my friends do watch people that do like, you know, home reconstruction, decorating, getting married, first relationships, things like that. That's what people want to see. You have to age with your audience to some degree, and I think this is a problem that a lot of younger YouTubers on YouTube, I mean, this is really, we're seeing our first generation of YouTubers age out, and this is the problem that I've seen a lot of these younger YouTubers face, is that they don't know how to grow up with their audience, number one. Number two, many of them really haven't grown up, and now I don't think that's true of Tyler Oakley. I think he has. And number three, they've basically lived in an apartment for the last 15 years, and they stayed in an apartment for the last 15 years and not really gone anywhere, you know? I mean, there's a few of them that have traveled the world and done these kinds of things, but the majority of these people just sit in their houses, their apartments all day long and film and edit, film and edit, film and edit, and they don't, it's like, you know when people tell you that you need to socialize your pet? It's kind of the same thing. Like, these people aren't really that socialized. So they don't, all of a sudden they wake up and they're in their 30s, and it's like they don't really have the maturity of a 30-year-old, which I think is why we see all these problematic people that really struggle taking any kind of accountability, and they really don't have the emotional development of most 30, 35-year-olds that we see, you know? Some of these people are not even just 30 anymore. They're getting to be like closer to 35, right? And I'm just like, this is very, very interesting to me, this whole phenomenon of these YouTubers that are like that. So I think to some degree, that is what has happened to Trisha Paytas for a while, you know, over time, is that I think that Trisha Paytas had this period where the trolling kind of worked in their favor, because people were like, we've never seen this before. You know, here is this glamorous person on YouTube, and basically, you know, to some degree, the American dream, and got out of, you know, this apartment, and then like got into this gorgeous house and has all this luxury stuff and is doing these luxury unboxings and Louis Vuitton purses and on and on and on. And then they started trolling, and people thought it was kind of funny. They thought it was kind of hilarious. Trisha was pushing the envelope, right? Well, that was also at a time where to do that was kind of funny. We don't live in a world today where that's funny anymore, right? And whether you want to admit to it or not, there was a period where people thought that it was. And today is not that time anymore, right? And people are more socially aware, and Trisha Paytas, I don't think, has realized that the world has moved on without them. I just don't think they have. And so Trisha is continuing to offend people and thinking that it's going to get the same reaction that it did 5 years ago. And really what it's doing is it's ruining their career completely, right? If Trisha Paytas had completely changed her channel or channels or whatever, and had gone back to doing mukbangs, to doing like reviews of fast food restaurants and things like that, and then on their videos was doing hauls and doing unboxings and doing things like, let me show you my life, Moses and I planning this, Moses and I planning that, you know, doing this, which they have been doing wedding videos in their channels, but there's always stuff thrown in there, right? Because Trisha Paytas thinks that is what feeds the channel. Well, I would say that there's probably 20% of people that are kind of like hanging on, lingering, because they're kind of like, what's Trisha gonna do next? And then you have like, I would say 30% of the people that are diehard Trisha Paytas fans, and the rest of the 50%, whether they've unsubscribed or not, are not watching Trisha Paytas anymore. Trisha Paytas has lost those people. They're not interested in anymore. Quite frankly, they gotta get the kids to school, they've got dinner to make, they've got homework to do, and the last thing they care about is what new trolling adventure Trisha Paytas is engaging in. So Trisha doesn't really care, or these people don't really care about Trisha Paytas, right? But Trisha thinks this is going to continue to garner them views. And this is going to be the end of Trisha Paytas. I'm telling you right now, it is. Trisha Paytas, if they would go and just do normal stuff on their channel and turn their channel into a vlogging channel, or sit down and just talk about the world, would it be boring to Trisha? Probably. I mean, this is where Trisha thinks that they're like this fantastic genius on the level of Andy Kaufman. They're not, okay? You're just not, because if you were, you would be on that level of fame at this point. Trisha's channel hasn't really grown in the last couple years. It's just stayed pretty stagnant, you know? And Trisha, is directly affected by the things that Trisha Paytas has done. You know, the thing that's interesting to me this year, specifically if we go back and look over the last year of 2021, is that Trisha wasn't really gaining any subs or getting any kind of like, nobody was really paying that much attention to Trisha Paytas anymore, drama channels included, until Trisha Paytas aligned themselves with Ethan Klein, okay? And then Trisha Paytas gets into this whole frenemies saying, and people are like, oh, well, wait a second. Like, this is a side of Trisha that I had missed. Like, this is Trisha sitting down and having conversations. I don't agree with everything that they're saying, but I do like to hear the conversations. Like, this is the Trisha Paytas that I kind of missed a little bit, right? And then the frenemies saying fell apart. Why? Most of it because of the undoing of Trisha Paytas. And then we see the backlash of Trisha Paytas, right? And then what people realize is, oh, Trisha hasn't changed at all. This is the same Trisha that we've been seeing for the last 2 to 3 years. You know, there's all these videos out now that are like, Trisha Paytas lied about this journal being put out in 2005 and whatever, blah, 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 whatever. And Trisha Paytas did this and Trisha Paytas did that and all this kind of stuff. And those things are all true. I don't think, personally, that those are the things, and I could be wrong, that really get Trisha Paytas fans to walk away and say, I'm done. What I think really does it for the Trisha Paytas fans is the continuing of the lies and the lack of accountability, the lack of growing, and then the continuing of just the trolling behavior. At some point, and this is what happened to me, and yes, I was a Trisha Paytas fan. At some point, each person out there that watches and loves Trisha Paytas is going to cross a line of something that you find very, very important. And when that day comes, and maybe that day hasn't come yet, but because it did for me, but when that day comes for you, you won't look at it in the same way anymore, right? It's like, you know, like when you hang around a bunch of people and they joke about this and they joke about that and you're like, haha, maybe you don't think it's funny, but it doesn't personally offend you to the core because it doesn't directly affect you. You know, maybe that's not a popular opinion, and I do believe that we need to be more aware of all of the jokes that aren't funny, right? But when that joke is aimed at you, then all of a sudden it's really, it hits to your core. And I think that that's what's happening with Trisha Paytas, is Trisha Paytas has offended so many people at this point that now people are like, Trisha, it's over. Like, you're not funny anymore, right? You guys, I cannot believe this. So I carry a battery in my bag with me, and then I have a battery in my camera, and both of them were from my vlog, which I vlogged last night and then came home and didn't charge them. So both batteries are dead, and I brought out the 2 batteries that I had charging. So, okay. Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying because I got so frustrated when the camera died. Yes, I am going to come out with merch in 2022 that says my camera died. Anyway, what I was going to say, mark my words, if Trisha Paytas would drastically change their channel, you know, I'm a believer that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But in the case of Trisha Paytas, it's broke, okay? You need to fix it. And to do some kind of reinvention and say, like, you know what? I'm not going to troll anymore. If Trisha Paytas got in a video, seriously got in a video and said, you guys, I realize I have offended mass amounts of people, okay? Whether what I said was true, how I said it, who it affected, whatever. The reality is I offended a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of really good people that have watched my videos for years and have stayed with me and have bought my merch and my songs, and I just offended a lot of people, and I don't want to be that anymore because I'm growing up, I'm married now, my dreams are coming true, I live in a first-class house with a first-class husband, and I want to have what everybody else has, and those days are over. If Trisha Paytas would go, I think they're so scared of what would happen if they weren't trolling. If Trisha Paytas turned it around, mark my words, if Trisha Paytas turned it around and started doing different kinds of videos, normal videos, they would get a lot of their following back. Because the majority of the people that have stopped following Trisha Paytas and stopped watching their videos are those people that were the diehard fans that were directly offended by something that Trisha Paytas did. Period. End of story. So if Trisha Paytas doesn't change and continues to do this, this is just going to be a snowball effect that goes out of control. And Trisha Paytas is their channel is going to be gone in 2 to 3 years. I mean, they'll be obsolete and irrelevant, period. So I know Trisha Paytas thinks that they employ the drama channels and all this kind of stuff, but whether Trisha Paytas is getting 1 million views or whether Trisha Paytas is getting 20,000 views, the drama channels continue to seem to do okay. So I wish them all the best. I just think that they need to really think about what they're doing. And you know, there's been a lot of things that collectively as drama channels we have said through the years. I have said myself, and so have other drama channels, Trisha Paytas needs to change her content. It's interesting to me when I get the comments in my videos where people are like, you need to do PR. Drama channels should be doing PR. Yet none of these people listen to what we have to say. I'm telling you right now, Trisha, your channel is not going to be around 3 to 5 years from now if you do not change what you are doing. Or if it is around, you won't be making the same amount of money and getting the same amount of views or subscribers you already aren't. You know, and Trisha's like, oh, I don't care about the views and I don't care about the subscribers. Well, those views and subscribers is what's feeding your Twitter, which is what's feeding your OnlyFans. So if you're irrelevant and nobody knows who you are and you're not gaining any new subscribers, you're not gaining any new OnlyFans people too. You're not selling merch to new people and you're not selling songs to new people. You're just going to keep it that same group of people. And that year after year, that same group is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So who is Trisha Paytas offending now? Now Trisha Paytas is offending the Wiccans. And I'm telling you, this is not the religiosity to go after. I'm just telling you right now, okay? It is just not the doctrine that I think that Trisha Paytas, if that's how you want to define it, I don't know. And I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to be completely upfront and honest about it. I do not know a lot about people that are Wiccan. I don't know much about it. I do have several friends of mine that are Wiccan, and I have mad respect for them, and they're very serious about it. And this is, even though it is maybe not as popularized as, I don't even know if we consider it a religion, in all honesty. I don't. I'm just being completely forthright and honest about it, okay? But, you know, whether it's as popular as other world religions or other world belief systems around there, people take it very, very seriously and live by this on a regular basis, right? So here we are, Trisha, once again, offending a new community of people. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this one's gonna bode very well for Trisha Paytas. I have a feeling there are a lot of followers of Trisha Paytas that identify as Wiccan that are going to be completely offended by this. So let me tell you what happened. Trisha Paytas yesterday, now I have to tell you, I could not find it when I went back and looked. So I don't know if Trisha deleted this off their Instagram story, but I don't think that they did. I think it just timed out. This is the picture that Trisha Paytas put up. And as you can see there, it says, "Good night, the magic is in you." And then if you look over here, Trisha's got like this black and purple, it's like a tray, but then they have this like thing draped over it that's black and purple that looks to me like it has a pentagram on it. And candles and sage, and there's something with a pentagram on it. And then there's like all these different kinds of herbs and stuff like that. And then over here, Trisha has a bell and a chalice and all this kind of stuff. And then there's all these books, right? What it really looks like is, like, we have this store in Indianapolis called New Age People. And in New Age People, you can go in there and you can buy all this stuff. You can buy the books and you can buy the bells from a lot of different things. I mean, they also have, you know, stuff to do with psychic mediums and auras and all that kind of stuff. But any kind of like New Age philosophy or belief system, or what we consider that, I guess, I don't know. All I know is that this store is called New Age People and they sell stuff that's Wiccan as well. It looks to me like Trisha just went in there with one of those carts and said, just give me everything, and started picking this stuff up, okay, to really just set this up. And now we're going to see all of these videos where, I don't know, lighting candles and chanting and trying to act like they're Wiccan when they're not. It's so completely offensive to me, you guys. So I went in here and I wanted to look up these books, okay? Since Trisha Paytas claims to not be able to convert to Judaism. Like, this is, to me, where it's like, how really seriously do you take your religion of your husband, okay? I'm not saying that Trisha Paytas has to convert to Judaism. Not at all. I want to make this very, very clear. I have many, many friends of mine, okay, where they're couples and they are married, and one is one religion and one is another. I have many friends of mine that are, one is Christian and one is Jewish. Many, okay? I don't believe for 1 second that you have to convert to your husband or wife's religion of choice, right? Do I know couples that have done that? Absolutely, I do, okay? But when you are practicing all these world religions, it is interesting to me that you make a TikTok, because let's go with the facts of what Trisha Paytas has talked about, okay? Trisha Paytas said that they wanted to convert to Judaism. We're a Star of David, okay? Hold on a second. I mean, I think this stuff is serious, right? We're a Star of David. We're a yarmulke, which women don't do, okay? In a TikTok, while Moses was lighting candles, okay, during Hanukkah, and was dancing in the background, saying that when you can't be converted to Judaism, so you just pay to be, you know, okay. So Trisha Paytas did all that, right? Then came out and said that the reason that they couldn't convert to Judaism, they didn't know, right, was because they still believe in Jesus Christ, okay, and that Jews don't believe. Trisha, first of all, like I sound like Freela the Banana Girl again. Everybody in the world knows that, okay? But if you can't align with Judaism, with your husband, and you're making all these excuses because of your Christian beliefs, we don't even have to talk about all the other artifacts that you've collected to put in your curio chest, okay? We don't even have to talk about all that Hare Krishna stuff and that fact that you went to a souvenir shop at the Hare Krishna temple and bought all this crap to put up in that chest in your house, okay? We don't even have to talk about that, right? But let's talk about all of this. Now, I might be wrong, and I don't know everything there is to be said about every world religion around there, okay, in the world. But I do believe, okay, that, and maybe I'm wrong, okay, that Christianity and Wiccan religion do not align, like, they're not, like, of the same belief systems, okay? I'm almost 100% positive of that. In fact, okay, I am just going to Google this really quick because Trisha Paytas could do it, so I'm going to do it, but I'm sure they didn't. I'm going to look it up and see what it says, and it says right here, hold on a second, on Wikipedia, which I'm sure is not fact, but Wicca is a modern pagan religion. Scholars of religion characterize it as both a new religious movement and as part of the occultist stream of Western esotericism. It was developed in England during the first half of the 20th century and was introduced to the public in 1954 by Gerald Gardner, a retired British civil servant. Wicca draws upon a diverse set of ancient pagan and 20th century Hermetic motives for its theological structure and ritual practices. Wicca has no central authority figure. Its traditional core beliefs, principles, and practices were originally outlined in the 1940s and 1950s. And it goes on to say all this. Due to the decentralized nature, there is some disagreement over what actually constitutes Wicca. Some traditions, and it goes on to say all this kind of stuff, okay? Wicca is typically duotheistic, not monotheistic like Christianity, worshiping and or working with a goddess and or god. There are traditionally viewed as triple goddesses and, okay, it goes on and talks about all this kind of stuff. So, there are obviously varied belief systems within this, but it's not a monotheistic religion, and it definitely doesn't believe in the same things as Christianity. So, Trisha Paytas, I know this conversation got real deep, okay? But Trisha Paytas can't align with her husband's religion because she has a belief in Jesus Christ, but she has no problem practicing Wicca. Like, I'm so confused by this. So then that would indicate that Trisha Paytas really isn't practicing Wicca, that Trisha Paytas is just making a mockery of this religion, buying yet again more souvenirs and books off of the internet or from some store to further troll the internet, okay? So if you are out there and you are Wiccan, I would be interested to know in the comment section below, do you find this offensive? Because if I were, I would find this offensive that somebody were just doing cosplay, again, of another world religion. So, now, if you don't remember me talking about this originally, Trisha Paytas was in a live stream. This is how this all came to be, okay? And I even said in a video, I think it was December 22nd, I said, write this down, December 22nd. Trisha Paytas is manifesting their being pagan in 2022. I think I said that. It was either December 21st or 22nd, whatever Trisha Paytas video I made on one of those days. Trisha Paytas was in a live stream. Somebody said to them, have you ever thought about paganism? And Trisha Paytas said, oh, let me write that down so I can remember that. I want to look into that, okay? That was when the idea of paganism and the Wiccan religion began for Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas has now put that into play in 2022, okay? So it was a suggestion from somebody in the audience of their live stream that they have now turned it into Trisha Paytas is now, she's Wiccan, okay? So I went in because I wanted to look up these books that Trisha Paytas has in the background. So I just want y'all to know, okay, what these books are. So I went in and I looked at them. Hold on really quick. And Trisha Paytas said, the first one is Moon Spells, how to use the phases of the moon to get what you want. Achieve your desires, tap into the hidden power of the moon. At any given moment, the moon shines down on half the world. Now, through the magic of moon spells, you can learn how to use its energies to achieve your desire, whether it's a joyful romance, a successful career, superb physical and emotional health. Magical practitioner Diane Alquist guides you on a journey to attuning your spirit with the moon. And it goes on and talks about all this to do with the moon. The next one, Witchcraft. A Handbook of Magic Spells and Potions by Anastasia Graywolf and Melissa West. Tap into the magic all around you with Witchcraft, an illustrated guide to ancient potions, spells, chants, rituals, and incantations from around the world. Learn how to form a spirit circle with coven members, what instruments you need for your craft, special conjurations for each of the day, and hundreds of crafty spells and potions that will allow you to, and it goes on to tell you all the things that you can do with it. Doesn't sound to me a lot like what you would practice going to your Christian church. I don't know how Trisha Paytas aligns all of this with her spiritual beliefs, but more power to you. Okay, the next one, The Witch's Guide to Manifestation, Witchcraft for the Life You Want. And this is by Mystic Dylan. Harness the power of magical manifestation to live the life you desire. Manifestation is about directing energy to achieve specific outcomes, and pairing it with magic lends you additional power to fuel your intentions. And it goes on to talk about learning practical spells, discover how to construct an elemental power charm, cast a Lady of the Lake leadership spell, and concoct a witch's magic manifestation brew, as well as how to customize spells and create your own. So basically, Trisha Paytas has a spell board right there is what she has. Is that what you call it? I don't know. She has a tray full of a bunch of souvenirs that they have bought in all of these spell books that now Trisha Paytas is going to cast spells in the world and claim that they're Wiccan. I cannot with this anymore, you guys, okay? And the fact that people are willing to defend this, I know people think it's funny. This is the thing, right? Like, people are like, this is funny. Like, this is Trisha being funny. Would it be funny if it was something that you really believed to your core, okay? Let's take religions out of it, you know? If Trisha Paytas was, or had, okay, trolled about, let's just say, I'm just suggesting, okay, maybe it wasn't about that, but maybe it was your beliefs about mental health. Maybe it was your beliefs about addiction. Maybe it was your beliefs about sexuality. Maybe it was your beliefs about family. Maybe it was your beliefs about politics. Maybe it was your beliefs about, I don't know, name anything in the world that you have any kind of belief system around, okay? That is really means something to you. That, you know, I love the saying from the movie The Contender that, you know, principles only mean something to you if you stick to them when they're inconvenient, right? So think about that thing to you that is so important. If Trisha Paytas came for that, how funny would that be for you? That's where you have to get to realize how offensive Trisha Paytas is. It's not funny, okay? Because just because you are not Wiccan, and just because the Wiccan religion doesn't align with what you believe, doesn't mean that to somebody else it doesn't. And doesn't mean that to somebody else it is their job to educate anybody on what that is, or that it's not real for them. You know? And that's how Trisha Paytas is so offensive to so many people, because Trisha Paytas just continues and continues and continues to cosplay all of these world issues. And at this point, Trisha Paytas has almost run out of ideas. So I can't possibly imagine what is left, because of all of those things that I just talked about, at some point or another, Trisha has said things that are questionable. That's all I'm saying. Questionable. Okay? So, because God forbid I say something again and then somebody will be like, oh, you called Trisha Paytas a liar. I did call Trisha Paytas a liar in my last video. Go check it out. Trisha Paytas is a liar. Trisha Paytas can't even keep their lies straight anymore, you know? And it's sad to me. As somebody that used to be a fan of Trisha Paytas, you know, it's like anything else. It's not just Trisha Paytas. It's any person that you look up to and you respect, you know, and you admire. It's like, I mean, okay, it's like all of the people that love J.K. Rowling, that wrote the Harry Potter novels, and then all of this stuff comes out about J.K. Rowling, you know, and their belief system about trans people. And it's like, people really are taking that seriously, as they should, right? So is it trolling to Trisha, or does Trisha really believe these things? Is Trisha like J.K. Rowling? Does Trisha really believe these things, okay? Because I know people that were diehard J.K. Rowling fans that got rid of all their books, won't watch Harry Potter again, won't even discuss it, okay? They are done supporting J.K. Rowling. So is that the same thing for Trisha Paytas, or do we just excuse it away? That it's just trolling and it's funny and this is comedy to Trisha Paytas? Because I, quite frankly, don't think this stuff is funny in 2022. I didn't think it was funny in 2021, and I don't think it's funny in 2020 or whatever, right? We've learned. You know, and I love the saying that Oprah says that when you know better, you do better. I think she heard that from Maya Angelou. That when you know better, you do better. Trisha Paytas, you know better. Seriously. You know, and if Trisha Paytas has lost me as a fan, you know, people come over here and they're like, you're so hard on Trisha Paytas. I gave Trisha Paytas, I mean, people used to say to me, you're giving her a free pass. And I was like, no, I'm not. Yeah, I did. I did. I was so easy on Trisha Paytas because I wanted Trisha Paytas to grow as a human being. I was so hopeful for Trisha. And like I said in my last video, even if Trisha Paytas turned everything around, it would be a good 2 to 5 years of me watching. And I know Trisha doesn't care, right? Not about me, but for me to watch and be like, okay, Trisha really has made some changes, it probably would take 2 to 5 years for me to really believe that that had happened. But the thing is, Trisha Paytas might not care about me. Trisha Paytas might not care about Peter Monn. But I'm just one person, just like you're just one person. Just like somebody else is one person. And if Trisha Paytas doesn't care about me just being one person that lost favor in them as a fan, she doesn't care about the rest of her fans either. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.